This is the demo for Precision Golf School. Right off the bat here we have our homepage, and you can see we've got a placeholder for images that are going to be a result of the photo shoot that we're going to coordinate. And I just kind of have some filler text here, which you're going to kind of be responsible for adding in what you want. We've got our mission, our experience, our location as kind of just the top main bullet points, and then we get right into the calendar on the home page, which is kind of what we originally discussed. So the calendar itself is pretty straightforward. Booked areas are represented by these green blocked out areas. Everything else is represented by an icon. So you can also toggle between instructors right here. By default it's set to you. We've got other sample instructors listed out here. So I can toggle between Matt's schedule and your schedule, for example. Definitely more prominence placed on choosing an instructor, which was something that you had mentioned was important to you. Outside of that, we've got general navigation, where I can jump forward a week, go back a week, or I can use the date picker to choose a date and jump to that. So basically two ways for your clients to navigate the site here. I can go ahead and click on the book an appointment option. When I hover over each respective lesson plan, you see we get a description that includes the general idea of the plan under plan information and then pricing. This obviously is sample data that you will be able to fill in. I can click book appointment. At that point in time, it's going to do a conflict check to ensure that there isn't a conflict. So if I go and choose this nested one here and I try to book an appointment and I choose a 60-minute plan, for example, it's going to say, hey, sorry, there's an appointment conflict, you can't do that. So let's go ahead and book a 15-minute appointment because that will fit. And I'm going to replace this email address with kind of like a blank area that looks like that. So right now, just to make it quick for testing, I have a sample email address in there. I'm going to get rid of that. Click continue, and you can see that under this email account we have golfers which have been associated with that account. So you could imagine maybe Samantha books an appointment for herself and she's got a son named Charlie. From here it's as easy as clicking book the appointment, and boom, the appointment has been booked. I can write down this stuff. When I close out of it, the page refreshes and that slot is no longer available. Now we can go through this process again. I can book another appointment, and we can enter in an email address that doesn't exist, like test@testnow.com, hit continue, and it says, hey, it looks like we don't have an account for this email. That's cool though. All you have to do is enter in this information, and then basically you won't have to again. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to say my name is Mark Test 555 555 555. I'm a male. I could be a female. I could be an adult or a junior. I'm going to go ahead and book the appointment. So now you see a golfer's been added under Mark, and I can click book, and it's been booked. There we go. You can see the appointment's been added. I'm going to go a slot lower, and I'm going to book an appointment. And now I'm going to type in test@newtest.com. And maybe that isn't what I added a second ago. Testnow.com. Is that what I did? There we go. So it's like, hey, we already have a golfer under that account. I don't have to go through that process of adding a golfer again because I already did it. From a user experience standpoint, that add a golfer thing only happens once, and I can click on book this appointment now every time I book an appointment with you, and it's literally all you have to do is enter in your email and click book under the golfer, and you're ready to go. So as you can see, we've really kind of simplified this whole process of booking an appointment for people coming through your system. They don't have to enter in their name again. They don't have to enter in their phone number again and stuff like that. So it really takes that time for your clients down. Now you can see we have a group appointment here, and this is something I created, and we'll go over how to create these later, but we've got 3 available slots and 3 total slots. We've got the type of appointment, which is group, a description, a price, and then this is a multi-day appointment, so we can see the planned dates right here. March 28th, the time, March 31st, the time. So I would go in and I would add in my name, James Donahoe, whatever, sign me up. Cool, thank you, you've been added. We look forward to seeing you. And you can see that the total slots in this gray area right here remain the same, but the available slots went down. So you can do this on your own, but you can go through the process of adding 3 appointments in a group appointment with 3 available slots. And you will notice that when you get to no remaining slots, when you try to book that group appointment, it's going to give you a notification that says, sorry, the appointment's full. So general structure of the page here, you'll notice that we've got a scrolling page, and the golfer right here, he sort of stays fixed in place. And we can go to the About Our Staff page, and there you are, Doug. Here is the email address associated with your account right now, a description of your qualifications, and then a broader description, which is kind of the general format I saw you were going for on the current website. Latest news and upcoming events, same kind of idea. You're going to be able to edit this in your admin area. There's just sample data there right now. And finally, there's a contact page. And the contact page is going to have a form where you can send an email. Your location reiterated here. We can go directly to Google Maps by clicking on this icon, or we can just actually interact with this map if we want to. All of the menu options are also reiterated right here, and there's a little nested link that says visit us on Facebook, which is meant to drive more traffic to your Facebook page. In addition to that, we've got a Facebook button here which links to your Facebook page, and again the Google Maps link in case they want to actually go to Google Maps to do something like get directions. I really think that just by having this icon here and having it nested in the menu, there was absolutely no reference to the Facebook page before, so it isn't screaming at you, but there's an access point, and I really think that's going to up the traffic to your Facebook page, which I think is a good thing. So now, if I go, the domain right now is a sample domain. It's at wafflespolice.com. Obviously, this will eventually get updated, but to come here and do everything I just showed you, all you have to do is go to wafflespolice.com. If you want to log into the page, let's close down this stuff. You're going to go to the domain name, in this case, wafflespolice.com /golfschool/index.php/login. There's no link now to this anymore from the main page because there's really no reason to have that link there. This is going to be a URL you're just going to want to bookmark so that you're able to just get back to it quickly when you need to log in. So right now the email address I have under your account is aaron@pivottodream.com. We're obviously going to change that, and I have a password associated with that so you can sign in. And now you can see the view is different. We've got a menu with more robust options that don't really reflect the other menu that a client would see. And you can see that the view for your calendar looks different. So now we can look at Mark Test, who I just added a second ago. And when we pull that up, we get his name with you, the time of the appointment, and all of the profile information associated with that user, including email, phone, adult, male, female, that kind of thing, and pricing description and appointment description. If you want to remove the appointment at this point, all you have to do is click Remove Appointment. And that didn't work for some reason, so that will be something I will have to look at. But it should have. I'll get that fixed up for you. Well, normally you would be able to. Obviously that option isn't available if you're a client. Additionally, if I go and switch to a different calendar view, this automatically kind of like logs you out. So you're not going to have the same options that you normally would have for editing other accounts that don't belong to you, and your instructors won't be able to edit yours just by navigating to these calendar links. So because this logged us out when we switched instructors, which is kind of a security feature, we're going to have to go ahead and log in again. And we're back inside. Okay. So normally you wouldn't be toggling, this view at all. You'd just be logged in as who you were. So we've got our options available to us again. And the first thing we're going to go to is, well, actually, let's talk about a difference here. So before, right, this looked exactly the same from a client's perspective, but now you have this secret little button here. And when you click it, this allows you to create unavailable time blocks. So these aren't appointments per se, and they just represent a blocked period of time, like if you want to have Saturday or Sunday off. And then there's iteration controls. You can do up to 20 iterations for this. So I can go ahead and book that. Cool, it's been booked. And now you see we've got this blocked appointment. If I wanted to block out all of Sunday, for example, I could come in here, use the secret button, and I could specify all the way to the end of the day, which we'll say is 6:15. I'm going to go ahead and book that. And now all of Sunday has been blocked out. Let's see here. I could do the same thing with iteration support, so I could come in here, use the secret button on the upper left-hand corner, and I could go up to the end of the day, whatever that is, and I could specify 2 iterations. Let's book that. Cool, it's been booked. Close it. And now Saturday and Sunday are blocked off, but the difference is because we added 2 iterations when I go forward a week. Alright, well, it looks like that isn't working either. Crap. Should have. No, it doesn't make any sense. Let's try that one more time. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Do 2 iterations. Book. Close that down. Sunday. No, it's not there. So I'm going to have to fix that too. This is working locally right now, but not on the server. So there are some differences in the PHP versions that are running on the server that are creating some inconsistent behavior for me, and I guess I'm going to have to look into that. At least we've got that one appointment booked there. Okay. So we can go into Manage Clients now, and you can see this is strictly for email, this section. And I can filter by instructor, and I can filter by the kind of plan that I have. So if I go to Doug and see all plans, or just another cool plan, you see it gets less because of this toggle. Now, when you log in as one of your instructors, they're not going to be able to see all of your email addresses, but they're going to be able to see, you are going to be able to see all of their email addresses by using the instructor filter to select them, but they're not going to be able to see yours. They're only going to be able to see their own. So now we go to Manage Plans. Okay. And you can see here that we have a Manage Plan page. And These are current plans which have been added at this point. If you want to edit them, you just click on them and the information populates right there. Let's go over these fields real quick. Display name of plan is just the title of it. The verbal price description is a more robust price description that isn't just a number. The short plan description is representing details about the plan itself, iVest appointment, whatever. And then this number is used for reporting, and this is a dollar amount associated with the appointment. I know that sometimes you do deals where if they book 3, they get a discount, stuff like that. At this point, the system isn't really going to deal with that. It's just going to be what's the general price point for this appointment, and that's going to help us with our reporting later. I can come in here and I can select 45 minutes or whatever, and I can edit it. Cool, it's been saved. That's great. When the page loads, you've got the create new plan option, so I could create a brand new plan. Test. The price is going to be 50. We're going to create it. Hey, cool. Now under current plans, we scroll down a little bit, you see that test has been added. I can click the pencil icon and get that information back and edit it if I want to. Otherwise, I can delete it. And now it's gone. Here is the group appointment configuration option. So this is where you are going to manage your group appointments. The fields are title, group by default is locked. You can't change that, but you can change the description of it. A group session focusing on swings. Maximum attendees could be 5. We're going to choose a date in the future, like May 29th. And start time, end time. You can edit this by clicking the little clock here or there. And make the end time 12. And I'm going to add that day. So now you see that day has been added. Now I can go in and modify the date to the 30th, for example, and I can add that day. And this is how you start to build up group plans that are multi-day appointments. That feature I showed you earlier where attendees can't log in if, or can't add themselves to a plan if their past the maximum amount is set by this field on the left. Pricing structure could be anything that you want, 2-day appointment with total cost of, $90, whatever. So let's remember real quick that we set May 30th as this day. There are 2 days in it. We're going to finalize that. It says success, check it out on your calendar. So let's prove that that worked. We're going to go back to the calendar. And we're going to jump forward to May 30th. Sorry. There we go. Okay, cool. You see that 2 days have been blocked out here because we created a multi-day appointment. And now when I click here, we have 5 total slots available, the 2 days that I specified, and I can now sign someone up for that appointment if I want to. If we want to remove it, let's see if that works. No, that's still messed up, so I'm going to have to fix that. But you get the general idea. So that was manage plans. Under manage staff, this is where you can add instructors. You can edit your own profile. There's your picture right there. Other people are only going to be able to edit themselves. So again, it's 2 administration states, you as God and them not being God, essentially. Under here, this is where you add your bio information. This field right here is where you add your credentials, your general title, Class A PGA Director of Instruction, blah, 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 which is what you have on your site. You can change your password. You can add a picture. Now with the picture, I recommend using a perfectly square picture because that fits in really nicely here. We don't have cropping built into the system, so just make sure that when you and your instructors upload a picture, it's going to be a square. In the HTML bio editor, you can see that I can come in here and I can type stuff. And if you, unlike the other system that was kind of clunky and weird looking, this is kind of unobtrusive, so you can just highlight an area of text and get these options. So you can do things like bold the text, unbold it, make it a paragraph tag, you know, whatever you want, bullet points, that kind of thing. Cool. Same idea of editing, you know, other instructors or removing them. You can never be removed. So that was manage staff. Now we've got edit news. Edit news and edit about page. You can come in here and type and save the content. Same thing, highlight, you get your options, click off, they go away. So just click save above content to update this part of your page. And finally, reporting. Right here we've got reporting information for you. By default, it's going to give you a month snapshot, starting with the current date and going back a month. That's just the defaults that I set up. It made sense to me from a reporting standpoint. Got a couple of cool options here. As you can see, we've got, well, I guess we can just go over the chart first. This is a chart of your daily appointments between the two query dates, which is represented by these two fields. So if I go in and modify this, and I go back like a month, and I hit search records, you'll see we get a lot more data in this chart. All appointments, there were 90 in that time frame, paid 10, people who haven't paid 80, and then this ties into that number of price point per appointment that we talked about earlier, which gives you a financial snapshot of the income that you earned between those two dates. So in this example, you know, it's saying that you earned roughly $200, which is because I haven't added pricing information for a lot of your appointments yet. Again, this is sample data right now, but ultimately this, you know, would actually represent the aggregate price point of every single appointment between these two dates that you query, which is kind of handy. When you actually are in here, this is obviously going to look a lot different. So all you have to do to mark an appointment as paid is click the little money sign, and this is going to do an AJAX call behind the scenes and save this information. So that's all you have to do. There's no save button to mark as paid or anything like that. So if we refresh the page now, we'll see that all that information got updated. And normally you might have one or two between a given time period that haven't been flagged as paid, as opposed to my version, because I'm using sample data that has a lot. But I added this filter by unpaid button right here, and what that allows you to do is just click, and now you're only going to see appointments that have been flagged as not paid. Alternatively, you can remove an appointment through here as well if you want to. You can also filter by results. So between these two dates, I can type in Samantha, for example. Samantha, okay. So now that I'm typing that in real time, we're only getting our Samantha results back. So this allows you to query by phone number, date, female, adult, email address. Anything that you see in here, you can type in here and it will filter by that, which is kind of handy. If you want to get your full result set back, you just make it go back to nothing in the text box. I can click this little print icon here, and this is kind of handy, similar to what you had before, but it's going to show you all this information in printable format. So we can scroll through here and we can see this print-friendly version of all of your appointment details. And I know this was something you used in the other system, so I wanted to throw that in for you. Okay. Alternatively, you can print this chart by using the menu here and selecting an option. If you want to export your result set between a given time period, all you have to do is click this little CSV button, click search records, and now you're going to get a dump down here in the bottom left where it says golfappointments.csv. That's going to represent all the Excel-friendly or QuickBooks-friendly information in a comma-separated value sheet. So this is something you could open in Microsoft Excel or OpenOffice, or theoretically import into QuickBooks if you want to. Cool, so that about covers that. So let's go ahead and log out really quickly here. And let's go back to the home page. And as a proof of concept, we're going to go and we're going to look at Matt here, and I have a sample email address for him. Go ahead and select his email address. Go back to the login page. Pop it in there. Okay, now we're logged in as Matt. You'll notice, because he is not you, his menu options are quite different. He doesn't have nearly as much stuff to look at. Manage clients, like I talked about earlier, he's the only instructor that he can filter by, but he can still filter by his plans. If I go into, let's see, manage plans. Plans are instructor specific, so these are only going to be the plans that are available under him, and he can still add group appointments if he wants to. Under reporting, he doesn't have any appointments right now, so that's why that data isn't there. But if we were to go back and add one, let's try that real quick. Cool. Now if we go back to reporting, we should have a result, and we do. So one line item for one appointment and one result on the chart. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of where we're going with this. I need to fix that remove appointment option that wasn't working on the server, but was working locally. I think that'll be a quick fix, so I won't worry too much about it. I encourage you to start playing around with this on your end on the live site. Go ahead and I'll send you some login creds that I won't put in the video so you can log in. And just start playing around with it and see how comfortable you feel. Alright, I think that about does it.